Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the video that's been banned in over 30 countries, banned by multiple prime ministers. I've got Europe messaging me saying, you're banned, you're done. Guys, this is the official top 5 parlays. We're winning so much money. We're causing inflation. I've got testimony from people in the comment section saying you've saved my family. You've made me a billionaire. Yes, guys, I'm writing a book on all and everything we're doing. It is amazing. It is going to be a New York Times bestseller. But guys, we begin with the most deadly weapon on planet Earth. It is the safe parlay. I do this every single week. The first leg of it, Toledo at Northern Illinois, the over 54. So I'm buying points again a little bit here. The actual over-under in this game, I believe right now is 60. All the analytical models, all the data points to this game going over 60, but because we want to be safe, we want to be secure. Guys, remember, safe and secure, the safe parlay. We're going over 54, Toledo, Northern Illinois. It's a MAC game. It's going to be a competitive game. I see both of these teams possibly getting into the 30s. So the over 54 looks really good there. Number 2, we're just taking Ohio moneyline versus Akron. Akron is horrible. They are not good. How about this? Akron lost to Michigan State by like 50 points. And we know how bad Michigan State is. So guys, Akron, worst team in the Big Ten, or at least one of the worst teams in the Big Ten. Ohio, good enough to where they can win at home. If you are interested, Ohio is minus 11.5, and I like Ohio to cover the 11.5, but we want to be safe. We want to be secure. We're taking Ohio money line. Number 3, I'm going Florida money line versus Missouri. So I've got a very strong feeling Florida will win this game. I also like the over 54.5 in this game, but you know, people might be a little scared about this with Missouri and how they played Georgia last week. Guys, I think it was a situational thing where Missouri was at home, night game, they were feeding off the energy. Now they've got to go to Gainesville, play a noon game against a team that's getting confidence. And Florida knows they cannot lose. They cannot slip up against a team like Missouri. They are 10.5 point favorites, but I will just take them on the money line. We're trying to be safe and secure. Number 4, San Jose State. I'll take them on the money line versus UNLV. So all of the models love San Jose State this week. Guys, if you don't know, San Jose State had a great performance last week against an underrated Wyoming team. And they opened this week minus 5.5. They've already been bet up minus 7 at home against a very bad UNLV team. I will take San Jose State straight up on the money line. And then the final one, I have to do this. It's a parity game. I cannot see any scenario in my head where Utah gets 2 losses and UCLA has 0 losses. The only trepidation, I thought Utah did lose their tight end, who's a really good asset, really good player, but I still am sticking to my guns. Utah is 4-point favorites on the road. Once again, Utah's been on a warpath. They've covered every game. They just crushed Oregon State. They know they can't slip up if they want any chance at the college football playoff. They're going to win this game on the road. I trust Utah football. Last week, it was trust Chip Kelly, and I love Chip Kelly. He's a great dude. He's in great shape. I recently was able to purchase his multi-$1,000 workout plan, and I'm implementing that, and it's going great. But guys, Utah this week, it's too much of a parity game. There's no way UCLA wins this game. They shouldn't be undefeated. We know about their non-conference schedule. I joke about it. I say it's a gauntlet. Obviously, it's horrible. I'm kidding. So UCLA, this is a game I am sure that Utah is going to win. And the overall odds on this are plus 364, nothing crazy for a 5-legger. Safe and secure, minus 210, minus 430, minus 435, minus 270, minus 195 on Utah to win outright. So that is the safe parlay. Moving on to my second parlay, we are going to go Buffalo moneyline at Bowling Green. So guys, if you didn't know, Bowling Green actually opened 1.5 point favorites. The line quickly shifted into Buffalo's favor. They are now minus 2. I'm not going to worry about them covering a 2-point spread when I'm doing a parlay. I'll just take them to win outright, which is basically like minus 130 anyways, and it's a parlay, so it multiplies. Nebraska money line at Rutgers. Once again, I think people underestimate how bad Rutgers is. Their quarterback situation is horrific. They had like 4 or 5 different quarterbacks against Ohio State. The only reason they scored a touchdown against Ohio State was because Emeka Egbuka muffed a punt, which gave them the ball at the OSU 20. Nebraska is a team, they got crushed by Oklahoma. They calmed down with their interim head coach. They beat Indiana at home. They've got enough offense. They've got a good running back. They can win in Rutgers and kind of, build some momentum. So I like Nebraska minus the 3. I'll just take a money line. I don't want to worry about point spreads that are that close when I'm doing a parlay. Number 3, Nevada money line versus Colorado State. So this is another really good value bet. A lot of the models love Nevada minus the 3.5. But again, if I'm doing a parlay, I don't want to have to worry about 7 different teams covering spreads if they're this close. If Nevada's only minus 3.5, I will just take them money line. I will say if Colorado State, if you think they're going to win a game, this would be a game that they would win. We all know Colorado State is horrible. They haven't won a game this year. If you think they're going to win a game, it would probably be this one because Nevada also is really, really bad. It's just Nevada's at home, and Colorado State is so horrifically bad, it makes Nevada an attractive option, on the money line. Number 4, this is the final one. We're going Tennessee money line at LSU. I think Tennessee is a team that knows you lose a game like this, you've got Alabama coming up. You've got Georgia coming up. You've got Kentucky. You need to beat LSU. You have tough games upcoming. LSU is a decent team, but Jaden Daniels for me is just not good enough. I watched Jaden Daniels against Mississippi State, and I know they beat Mississippi State, but he was not impressive at all in that game, in my opinion. I will take Tennessee on the road. Yes, it's going to be a close game. Yes, you're going to have to sweat it out. Tennessee will win on a walk-off field goal, and those are the overall odds for the second parlay, plus 691. Moving on to the third parlay, the first leg of it is Georgia Southern at Georgia State. I forgot to add the N there in Southern, but Georgia Southern at Georgia State, buying a few points here. I'll take the under 71.5. All the models are in agreement. The under 66 is a lock. But because it's a parlay, I want to give myself some wiggle room. I'll take the under 71.5. There is the concern this game could turn into a shootout because both of these defenses are bad, but it's kind of a situation where it's just both offenses aren't great. Georgia State, they're 1-4, although they did just win. I'll just take the under 71.5. All the models say take the under 66. I'll buy myself some extra odds considering it is a parlay. Number 2, I'm just taking UAB money line versus Middle Tennessee State. UAB, good team, kind of a forgotten team. They are -9 at home. I will just take them on the money line. I think they're going to win. I'll take Liberty minus the 24.5 at UMass. UMass is horrible. I understand UMass, played well against Eastern Michigan last week, almost beat them. I think they're due for a really bad performance, and they're going to have a really bad performance. I believe Liberty had a bye week last week, so they're fresh. They almost beat Wake Forest. This is a good Liberty football team. They will cover. This game's got 49-0 written all over it. 49-0. And then number 4, Oklahoma, just good value. Plus the 7 versus Texas. Brett Venables is really up against it right now. Texas, we're hearing Quinn Ewers might not be back for this game. Although, to be honest, Hudson Cards looked really good. Texas football has looked really good. But guys, this is the prototypical college football game. You've got Oklahoma limping into this game, looking horrible. You've got Texas dominating West Virginia. So what do you think's going to happen? You think Texas is going to dominate Oklahoma, but we know how college football works. It's extremely, extremely unpredictable. And this game will probably be a field goal type game just because it is college football. So that is a 4-teamer plus 675, the overall odds on that one. The parlay number 4 is Ball State at Central Michigan. We're going under 68.5. So once again, The big trend is to take the under 64.5. I want to buy myself better odds because this is a parlay. So I will go at the under 68.5, which is like minus 210 or something like that for Ball State at Central Michigan. Not very good offenses. Texas Tech at Oklahoma State, the under 68.5. So the over-under on this game has been all over the place. I saw one place where it was 64. I saw another place where it was 70. When I actually looked it up, it said it was 68.5. So yes, we will be going with the under. Oklahoma State is, they have a veteran quarterback. They do score, but this game it just feels like 68.5 is just simply too much. I mean, if the final score of this game, is like 35-24, I believe the under hits. If it's 33-30, the under hits. If it's 36-30, the under hits. So there's just a lot of points that can be scored where the under is still hitting in that one. The next game, we've got Wisconsin at Northwestern. I'm taking the under 44, so I'm betting on Jim Leonard galvanizing the Wisconsin defense. Northwestern cannot score themselves. The last two games Northwestern's played have both gone way under. Last week, you can say a little bit it's due to the weather against Penn State, but still, this Northwestern offense is horrible. And again, it's a situation where Wisconsin, the defensive coordinator, is now the head coach. You would figure the team would have kind of a defensive mindset with their head coach being a defensive-oriented guy. The roster influx, the turnover. He's going to galvanize Wisconsin. It's going to be a lower scoring game in my opinion. Number 4, I'm taking Western Kentucky plus the 6.5 at UTSA. So Western Kentucky, I still think they're undervalued. I realize they kind of laid an egg last week against Troy, but I like them to bounce back and cover the 6.5 on the road at a good UTSA team. That's another 4-team parlay. You can see the overall odds plus 1,000 on that one. And then moving into my final parlay, which is strictly a moneyline parlay combining college games and NFL games. I believe it's 2 college games, 3 NFL. So I do love Louisiana Tech on the money line at UTEP. I view this as a parity game. Louisiana Tech is 1-3. UTEP is 3-3. UTEP is not a good football team. Louisiana Tech, I believe, is -3, but I will just take them on the money line to win that game outright. Notre Dame money line versus BYU. So Notre Dame is one of the more underrated teams in college football right now. Obviously, with their national brand losing to Marshall, everyone's going to react a certain way, but they come back and they beat a good North Carolina team. They get a bye week, and now they're facing a BYU team that's severely overranked according to metrics. BYU struggled with a horrible Utah State team last week. They struggled with Wyoming the week before. This is a neutral site game for Notre Dame. They're -3.5. I will just take them on the money line. Number 3, the NFL games, the Bills money line versus the Steelers. So guys, if you don't know, Buffalo is 14-point favorites. This is Josh Allen at home going up against a rookie, Kenny Pickett, making his first career start. This is just basically free money to add on to the parlay. I'll just take a money line. I think Buffalo will cover the 14, but if I'm doing a parlay, I'm not going to, add that. And it just becomes very hard to win parlays when you add the actual spread. Number 4, I'm taking the Buccaneers at home versus the Falcons. I love the Bucs to cover the 9-point spread in this matchup. If you take a look at the Buccaneers on Sunday Night Football, in garbage time, Tom Brady really started to connect. They're going to break out. The Falcons are due for a loss after beating the Browns. They're not nearly as good as their record. They're also due to, not cover a spread. I think they've started off really good against the spread. So I love the Buccaneers at home. I think I have the game predicted like 35-16 or something like that. The Buccaneers blow out the Falcons. And then number 5, I love the Saints beating the Seahawks in what I amount to a parity game. The only concern here is Jameis Winston, is he going to play? We're hopeful he's going to play. Michael Thomas also injured, but they do have Chris Olave. They are at home, and they're facing a Seattle team who has vastly overperformed, in my opinion. New Orleans is -5 in this game. I've just got them winning it outright, so I've got Louisiana Tech, Notre Dame, Buffalo, Tampa Bay, and New Orleans all on the money line, all in a parlay, and those are the overall odds on that one, plus 384. So guys, that is going to do it for my college football week number 6 top 5 parlays. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.